a spot. Thanks so much for checking us out here on Watchalong Wrestling. It is so great to be back with you guys here. It is Sunday evening as I record this. When you probably see it, it's either going to be late Sunday evening or early Monday morning. And tonight on WWE Monday Night Raw, it is going to be the kickoff of the 2019 King of the Ring. And here today on the show, I'm going to break down the entire bracket for you from start to finish, give you guys some predictions on where I see everything, and give you guys the schedule for the King of the Ring. So if you guys are not sure of kind of where everything is falling into place, I'll hook you up on that. If it's your first time visiting the channel, welcome aboard. Make sure you leave the big thumbs up and subscribe to Watchalong Wrestling so that you can be here for all of our updates here and everything that we do here on the channel, our live streams, our live wrestling vlogs, and everything in between. I'm actually coming to you guys here from a new app I found called StreamYard. Let me know what you guys think about this. It is a situation where I have not been able to stream, unfortunately, over the last few weeks since the beginning of August because I was utilizing Google Hangouts. YouTube and Google Hangouts are no more, so it was kind of a tough spot for me. But thankfully, I found StreamYard, and it's been really great thus far. So hopefully, all systems are go for our final hour of Monday Night Live Raw streams in the future and everything else wrestling stream related. You guys will be able to still jump in on the chat just like old times. And it'll be great. So kudos to the guys at StreamYard who have made a really cool, user-friendly app. So if you're looking for something, check them out, StreamYard.com. I'll throw it in the description below. All right, King of the Ring. This kind of came out of nowhere, guys. This is something where last week on WWE, they just sort of announced, again, pretty much out of nowhere, that the King of the Ring will be back for the first time in 4 years. 2015, Bad News Barrett won the tournament, something that was so unimpactful that I forgot it existed. And I love BMB, but just did not remember him winning the King of the Ring at all. I was at the King of the Ring before that, which took place 5 years earlier, and Sheamus won. And then William Regal won it in 2008, and those have been the ones that they've kind of brought back. Obviously, King Booker in 2007 as well. Those have been the ones they've brought back since the end of the King of the Ring pay-per-view back in 2002, a pay-per-view I loved, and I thought really still had a place and was something different, and I'm not sure why to this day WWE got rid of the tournament. I think it was just they didn't like the tournament concept. But for me, again, I thought it was something different, and I really liked it. So it's good to see the King of the Ring is back. The G1 Climax, this is not. But it's cool if you are a fan of the G1 that we have some tournament action here to kind of pick up after that. Obviously, this is not a round-robin tournament. It's single elimination. And the way they're doing this is they're going to have 8 guys on Raw compete in a smaller tournament, 8 guys on SmackDown compete in a smaller tournament, and then the winners of both sides of the tournament will compete at the Clash of the Champions. This, of course, would mean a lot more if there was not the wildcard rule, and you didn't see these guys bouncing between brands all the time. But at the end of the day, it's still something different and something I think at least gives reason to tune in. So let us break it down here for you. Tomorrow night, they're starting on the Raw side of the bracket, and we're not going to find out who is going to be facing off in the second round yet until next week, because it's only going to be 2 matches. Basically, they're going to separate it out 2 matches every single week leading up to the finals, obviously. So 2 matches on Raw, 2 matches on SmackDown, and that'll continue through the semifinals over the next 3 weeks. So you're getting 2 quarterfinal matches tomorrow. I guess first-round matches. You have 2 first-round matches tomorrow on Raw, 2 first-round matches on SmackDown this week. The following week, you're going to get the next 2 first-round matches on both Raw and SmackDown, respectively. And then the 2 semifinals will take place, I guess, on Labor Day. And then the day after Labor Day will be the SmackDown semifinals, all leading up to the finals of the Raw and SmackDown, which will both take place at Madison Square Garden. I will hopefully be at both those shows, and it'll be cool to kind of see that they've already added a little something to kind of get people a little excited about the Garden shows. Told you guys those shows were going to be something that WWE would not just kind of let go. I think they were going to build up those shows pretty big. So you're going to get at least the finals of both the Raw and SmackDown sides of the King of the Ring on Raw and SmackDown, respectively, from Madison Square Garden on both the 9th and 10th of September. Again, leading up to the finals at the Clash of the Champions. So let's break it down, starting with the Raw side of things. Tomorrow night, you're getting Cesaro and Samoa Joe, which should be great. And then you're getting Cedric Alexander against Sami Zayn. Next week on Raw, you're going to get the next first-round matchup. It's going to be Ricochet and Drew McIntyre and The Miz and everyone's favorite, Baron Corbin. So let's break it down, starting with the first round matches that are happening tomorrow night. Cesaro and Samoa Joe. Cesaro's kind of become that guy that they know is going to get a good match out of anybody, but he's not someone they're really going to push. He's almost like an undercard guy, like a glorified, like he's good and you know he's going to get a lot of offense in and look good in the process. But at the same time, he's someone that they probably aren't going to give 100%. They're not going to give a big win to. So I think Samoa Joe takes that, advances into the tournament. Again, he faces the winner of Ricochet and Drew McIntyre next week. That, to me, is the first round match of the tournament on the Raw side of things. Ricochet and Drew, that should just be awesome. Part of me says Ricochet here. And, you know, I would love to say that I could see Drew McIntyre winning this entire tournament. I know he's a popular pick. But, no, I'm going to go Ricochet. I think Ricochet defeats Drew McIntyre, moves on to face Samoa Joe in the second round. Before I get to my second round, Cedric Alexander, Sami Zayn takes place tomorrow night. This is a slam dunk for Cedric Alexander. I think that he is somebody that they're really getting behind. He's been in main event spots, ending Raw in there with Usos and Roman Reigns. He's someone that clearly they're very high on. And Sami is clearly someone they are not. Go back in time to that segment there, the electric chair segment with Sami Zayn, where Sami said, you could have asked me a question about AEW. Clearly, WWE did not want anyone to even hear the name AEW. Sami went off script on that one, I think, and he's not been pushed the same ever since. He was getting a lot of mic time each week since his return that after WrestleMania. Hasn't been the case since he's made that AEW remark. So I hope for the best for Sami, but again, it's not looking good for him. So I definitely will take Cedric in that match. Next week, Baron Corbin and The Miz. Miz is a guy that I'd love to pick here for you guys, but I'll be honest, I think it's going to be Corbin. It's going to be Corbin's first match back really since the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. He hasn't been on there since he hit Becky Lynch with the End of Days en route to losing the title there. So I do think it's going to be a little bit of a rub for Corbin. Miz is just stuck in a holding pattern right now. It doesn't look good for Miz when every single thing that heel Dolph Ziggler says about him pretty much has come across as being relatively true. And his feud with Shane McMahon just did nothing for him. This guy lost every single one of his matches against Shane, and I think that it's going to take a lot more to recover. So my semifinals on the Raw side of things is going to be Samoa Joe and Ricochet, and then Cedric Alexander and Baron Corbin. SmackDown side of things, Kevin Owens and Elias taking place this Tuesday night on SmackDown. Winner of that match takes on the winner of what I consider to be the first round match of the entire side of the tour and the entire tournament, Buddy Murphy and Ali. Then you've got Chad Gable taking on Shelton Benjamin. And you've got Apollo Cruz taking on Andrade. Now, Apollo Cruz and Andrade, that's taking place this week, along with Elias and Kevin Owens. So let's start there. Kevin Owens, Elias. Kevin Owens right now, he's the guy I feel like they are getting behind 110%, and I think he gets the big win there. Also tomorrow night, Apollo Cruz versus Andrade. Apollo's kind of in the same place that Cesaro's in. He's a guy that they get up behind a little bit just to kind of build him up so that he could take falls for some of the more established stars. And with that being said, I expect him to lose to Andrade and Andrade to advance. Ali and Buddy Murphy, this should be the match of the tournament. Speaking of Buddy Murphy, this week on SmackDown, Buddy Murphy's taking on Daniel Bryan. That should be awesome. We really need to tune into SmackDown. You got Kevin Owens and Elias. You got Apollo Cruz and Andrade and Buddy Murphy versus Daniel Bryan. They could have a hell of a match, and SmackDown Live must see this week. But in any event, Ali versus Buddy Murphy, that can go either way. That's going to be probably, I think, again, the match of the tournament. And I will take Buddy Murphy in that. They're trying to build him up a bit. I think he gets the win over Ali. Final semifinal match that'll take place first round match, that'll take place next week. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, former tag partners, collide. Glad to see both these guys got into the tournament. I'm going to go with Chad Gable. I feel like he's a little more behind Gable. They've been doing some strange stuff with Shelton that hasn't really felt very... Like, he doesn't feel like they're going too far with Shelton, with whatever character they're doing, where he's kind of just standing there and staring off into space. So I'm going to go with Gable. So that sets us up with a really good second round on the SmackDown side of things. Kevin Owens versus Buddy Murphy and Andrade versus Chad Gable. We'll start with Andrade and Chad Gable. This is a match I think goes to Andrade, but a match that, damn, I'm looking forward to and I hope happens. Those guys are going to just tear it up. They're going to be great. And again, I think that is going to be a showcase for Andrade. Kevin Owens, Buddy Murphy. This one I'm going to give to Kevin Owens. Again, they're kind of building things up for Kevin Owens. He is going to be, I think, a big face of the SmackDown side of things as they move over to Fox and in the future. So we're going to go with Andrade and Kevin Owens getting to the main event, and I guess the finals of the SmackDown side of things. So now my finals of the Raw side of things taking place Madison Square Garden is going to be, I don't think I even went through this year. I apologize. Ricochet, well, let's get to the semifinals. I guess the semifinals on Raw. Samoa Joe versus Ricochet. I'm going to go with Ricochet. I think they're going to build up Ricochet as kind of that King Ricochet type character. Can he become the king in WWE? And in terms of Cedric Alexander, Baron Corbin, I'm going to go with Cedric Alexander. So I think you're going to get yourself a babyface final on Raw, and you're going to get yourself a kind of classic heel versus babyface Andrade versus Kevin Owens final on SmackDown. So this leads us to the finals of the Raw side of King of the Ring tournament. It's going to be Cedric Alexander taking on Ricochet, a match that should just tear it up. Hopefully it gets 30 minutes and then just go to town. And a match I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to give the edge to Ricochet in this one. I feel like he's going to be the guy that comes out on top on the Raw side of things. And then on the SmackDown side of things, I'm going to go with Andrade over Kevin Owens, whether he gets a clean victory or whether he just gets the victory due to outside interference and chicanery from Shane McMahon or Zelina Vega. I go with Andrade, which leads us to our main event, our finals of the King of the Ring tournament. I'm going to go Ricochet and Andrade for the finals of the tournament at the King of the Ring. When I first saw the brackets, I thought, when I first heard who was in this tournament, I hoped it would be a showcase for Buddy Murphy. I think they're going more slow build with Buddy, though. I don't think Buddy's going to be the guy to come out of this. The guy I do think they're going to take to come out of this is Andrade. I think King of the Ring is something that really benefits a heel and kind of a smarmy heel. When you think back to the greatest King of the Rings of all time, Owen Hart, right? He was a smarmy heel who you can get behind, and he did really well with it. Kurt Angle, smarmy heel. He was able to get behind of it. Triple H on Hearst Helmsley, 97. Austin, who wasn't really a smarmy heel, was a badass heel, but still being the King of the Ring did a lot for him. The babyface King of the Rings, Ken Shamrock, didn't do much. Bret Hart had a King of the Ring for a little while, but he lost it to Lawler, another smarmy heel. And obviously King Booker, another smarmy heel that it did really well with. So I always think the King of the Ring benefits the smarmy kind of cheating type heel. And I'm going to go with Andrade as my winner of the King of the Ring tournament. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this, how you're feeling about it in the comment section below. Who is your pick to win? You can let me know who to win the matches tomorrow night. That's between, or I guess later on tonight, depending when this goes up. That is, again, the matches for Raw to look forward to. You're going to get Cesaro and Samoa Joe and Cedric Alexander and Sami Zayn. Cedric and Sami, if given time, as well as Cesaro and Samoa Joe, could really tear down the house. So lots to look forward to. I'm excited about the King of the Ring, man. One of my favorites from back in the day getting revived here in 2019. So again, kind of out of nowhere, but we're excited for it, at least here on Watchalong Wrestling. Keep it locked right here. Make sure you subscribe, and we will see you again real soon here on Watchalong Wrestling.